I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Here we are, back again for another round of friendship and conversation.
That's right.
Between friends.
My arms are in the air triumphantly.
We're friends and you're the third friend.
We're friends. You're our friend.
You're with us.
We are all friends.
We're all friends. Let me tell you something. If we met you, listener, in person, friends.
Yeah, you're damn right.
No question about it. Don't even have to ask about your background. Everyone gets a blank slate.
Dude.
When we get together. I don't care if your shirt's covered in blood. I don't care if you smell like, defecate. You're a good guy.
Please take a shower.
Good guy and a girl in our book. That's
I prefer
for sure.
for you not to smell like defecate.
Who are we? Private detectives? Who are we to judge about your criminal history?
Who are we?
Lord knows Julio's got some crimes in his past.
I have a couple.
Torrid past that he has. This guy arrives with more baggage than Elle Woods.
Than the Sandman.
From the Legally Blonde franchise. Elle Woods, you know that?
I do, yeah.
Well, I got something for you, Julio.
Oh, baby.
I mean, first of all, we finished our 2 live shows in New York City. Second one went gangbusters.
Yeah, it was really good.
Went gangbusters.
Big guest appearances, as I'm sure you guys all know by now. Sierra was there. My dad was there. We had some funny people on stage. It was a good time.
I received...
We love chilling with you.
What I would consider to be my favorite single direct message that I've ever received in my life.
Pull her up.
This is from a guy who knows your dad.
Oh, man.
And he responded when I posted the story about that had your dad on it. He goes, he was my little league coach, smoked cigars in the dugout, quote, to keep the bugs away.
Who is this guy? I probably know this kid.
Anytime a kid hit a home run, he signed the ball as a witness. All-time guy.
That's really funny. That's really funny. Who is that?
Big G, baby.
Who is that?
What a legend. This guy's name is Aaron.
Aaron. Oh, I know him, dude.
You know this guy?
Yeah, I know Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, dude.
Isn't that the funniest thing? Smoke cigars to keep the bugs away.
That is, quote, to keep the bugs
And
away.
he signed kids' balls whenever they got a home run as a witness. Oh,
Dude, he was a good coach, too, because he really made sure all the kids played. He didn't care about winning. When I look back on it, I really appreciate it. Because these guys who cared about winning, like the guys who would saunter out to the mound to take the ball away from the pitcher and like point to the dugout, like those guys are losers.
They are. They
You know
sure
what I mean?
are. I didn't know that your dad coached your little league.
Oh yeah, he
team.
coached me in a lot of different things.
My dad coached my teams too.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
middle
it's
school.
nice.
He coached our school, soccer, basketball, and lacrosse.
Awesome.
He had coached the lacrosse team for a couple years before I came into middle school, and was because he was the only parent around who had any sense of the game of lacrosse. And then finally, I arrived, and he basically just took over the other 2 sports I was playing because I went to this school that was so inept athletically.
Oh, interesting.
And to your point, they did care about participation. Everybody plays. Who cares what the scoreboard says as long as everyone has fun? Bullshit communism. And I didn't like it because I was
this was your school team. That's different.
Yeah.
My dad was we're talking like youth soccer, not I know. My dad was the assistant coach of the tennis team and we were very good, but he didn't coach in an organized capacity like this.
Do you think that school sports were more important than sort of travel?
No. So, but like the teams my dad was coaching were like little league. It's like 12-year-olds.
And therefore, it is just
everybody
fun.
should play. Like
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not this like putting the best guy in. Like he used to say to me, he's like, I'd be like, Dad, we suck, and he was like, you'll appreciate this one day.
Well, I had wars with my dad, and he was so nice, and I to this day feel guilty about it. But I was much bigger and much more athletic I'll toot my own horn than everybody else, pretty much in the entire state.
We've gotten DMs about this from people.
Yeah.
A guy sent us your middle school basketball roster and was like, Francis was like the fucking Kobe Bryant
Yeah.
of Maine.
Well, I think I was 6 feet tall as a 7th grader or something.
Crazy.
And maybe even, I don't know, maybe 8th grader, I was 6 feet tall. And just, quite a bit more strong and fast and developed than most of the kids. And my dad came in and he knew that he had to appease the parents and the school by making sure people played and all of that. But he knew that the only way for us to win was if I dominated the games. And that's
Right,
just true.
right.
Like we really didn't have anyone else. There was one other kid, my buddy Michael, who was also quite tall and athletic. And so my dad would basically we'd be playing these dog shit teams, Poland, where home of Poland Spring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Freiburg Academy.
They're bad.
Well, because we were a small school, so it was Class D, but it mattered a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have tryouts. It was just kids signed up.
Oh,
Whoever
okay.
signed up for the team was on the team. And my dad would put me in, we'd get a comfortable lead, and then he would take me out, and then the other team would come back.
Right.
And then he'd put me
Put you
back
back in.
and we would go, fight, and we would win games by the thinnest of margins, because my dad walked this tightrope act of, socialist coaching that made everyone happy and made the nerd kids feel good that they got in and only got called for 4 travels. And then I would be furious because I didn't understand at that age why he was taking me out of the game.
Right. No,
And
totally,
I
totally.
wasn't.
You wanted to pad the stat sheet.
Yeah, well, not even that. I just knew that the second I came out of the game, our margin of winning would evaporate.
Yeah.
Nobody else had any sort of ability to do anything. And
You were LeBron to your dad's Tyronn
yeah, so
Lue.
I'd have tantrums basically. I'd have tantrums, and to this day, But fortunately, it's one of those things that in our memory as father and son we've only remembered the good times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've managed to redefine our legacy as wasn't that fun? Wasn't that a great
Yeah.
thing we did? But I distinctly remember, if I'm honest in my memory,
You've whitewashed the
just
past.
almost like walking out of the gym in anger at my father, who was just doing what he was supposed to do. It was being great.
Revisionist history for
Yeah.
the purpose of friendly dinner combo.
Yeah, and car rides home where I was sullen. And there was one game we played, I think it was against Thornton Academy, or maybe it was Freiburg, where I think I've told you this. I scored 32 of our team's 34 points.
That's crazy.
And we
this
lost.
This is middle school?
Yeah, we lost at the buzzer.
Oh, God.
Because some guy who, for all I know, was legally blind, made a turnaround fadeaway jumper from the elbow. I still remember it hit the rim twice, popped up straight in the air, hit it again, and then went in.
No way.
And
Like
their
Kawhi
whole bench
Leonard cleared?
rushed the court. And it was, it was just, it was an insane thing. And by the way, for the record, I wasn't even a ball hog. I would pass to these kids, but then they would get the ball back to me, and then I would go. That was our offense.
Seems fair.
And we lost at the buzzer, but I think to this day it still stands, I would guess, as Wayne Fleet's highest single player percentage of the team's points.
Yeah.
In 32 out of 34. That's
It's a lot of points.
just a lot. You're really making up the bulk of the offense.
Yeah.
Think of it this way: if I had not been there that day, we would have lost 36-2. Hillman Norberg scored the only other basket.
Hillman?
Yeah, my buddy Hillman.
Norberg.
Yeah, Hillman. Shout out Hillman.
Dude. I would love to play in a little 2-on-2 tourney with you, dude.
I played the other day for the first time in a long time. Played
was
some
it?
basketball. It's fun. Played with our buddies over at Bird Dogs.
Oh, sick.
Played with the whole group of guys from the company, and they have a good game. good run Tuesday and Friday mornings at Chelsea Piers.
Sick. I would play too if you
Yeah,
wanted some time.
7 a.m. if you want to come out. It's good.
It's a little early.
It is a little early. You're just getting into bed.
Dude,
Your
so
third pizza order.
I had some like funny basketball controversy stuff too. My dad assistant coached one of my team. I think it was when we were in 4th grade maybe. And I was like one of the better players in the league. Less impressive since it wasn't in middle school. Middle school was probably like was not good years for me athletically. Like they just weren't. Like
Really?
I kind of went from being sort of like puberty just like made me kind of like a doughy like like kind of just like not, it just like kind of took away a little bit of my athleticism for a bit. And I had to like kind of get it back like in high school and stuff with tennis and whatever. Anyway, but in 4th grade, I was like the best player on the team and we had long sleeve jerseys.
What?
And
Basketball?
not long sleeve, sorry, like t-shirts as opposed to
Okay, yeah.
pinny style, whatever. And I cut my sleeves kind of like Pocahontas style so that it was like, so here I was, this guy frolicking down the court, but I was putting up numbers. Like I was, the best player, one of the best players in the league, if not the best. And the next year they made the jersey sleeveless and it was not a coincidence.
Oh, wow.
They didn't need me, sort of androgenizing.
Yeah, they didn't want you painting with all the voices of the mountains out there and just singing with all the colors
wolf
of the
crying.
wind.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. But dude, youth sports were fun. And yeah, middle school, tough years for me. It wasn't as kind to me as it
It's
was.
strange to me that puberty doed you up.
I don't know that it was puberty.
Because it went the other. I mean, for most kids I knew, it went the other way.
My
Puberty made
metabolism,
them-
like I was skinny, and then like my eating habits sort of caught up to me in middle school.
Got it. Gee, I've been finding myself frustrated, or I was finding myself frustrated for a long time by how expensive my phone plan was.
Dude, phone bills are truly a crazy
Yeah, ever
thing.
since I got off, mom and dad kicked me off the family plan, told me it was time for me to grow up.
Grow up, buddy boy.
Those bills have just been crushing until I found Mint Mobile.
Oh yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's cheap. I'm not gonna lie. It is very inexpensive. It's so much less money than what I was paying before, and I'm really happy about it. It's nice to have a little extra cushion, each month.
Dude, it's great.
This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months for free. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say, it's the perfect time to switch. I switched over, dude, and legitimately, like, it's just as good. There's no noticeable difference there's no drop or
Service and
anything.
everything.
My phone works just as well as ever.
I love it.
They have the best offer of the year that's here for a limited time. Buy any 3-month plan and get 3 months for free, as I said. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Of course, it's a very seamless switch. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. For a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/oops. That's mintmobile.com/oops. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/oops. Well, we met some characters at the live show.
so fun.
Some pod, diehards who have contributed wonderful moments to the show over the years, and including our buddy who sent the famous DM.
Oh my God.
About the Uber driver that he hooked up with.
I'm glad you brought this up, dude. That guy's a fucking legend. If we do another live show in the city, I'd like to have him back to show us some of the footage.
Well, this is where you and I are fundamentally different people, because this kid
is a legend.
Ian. Yeah, Ian. We met him, great guy, right? And he showed you, before he showed me, the film footage proof of him hooking up with the Uber driver.
Yes.
And then you called me over and said, dude, you've got to see this. And I'm there, I'm with my fiance nearby, some people having nice, polite conversations, sipping on a hazy IPA casually. And all of a sudden, I'm watching a home porno shot on this kid's iPhone where he's showing me his own blowjob that he's receiving from this horrific looking woman, Uber driver woman. And everyone's like laughing, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I wasn't ready for that. How is this the time, place, any of that? Like, where did this how did you guys and then you were like, oh, maybe you didn't want to see that. Because right before you were like, you're gonna want to see this, dude. And I'm like, okay. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh God.
my God, my bad.
Yeah. And then Julia's like, we got to show this at our next live show. And I'm like, we can't. It's porn. But it was proof. That is for sure. So I appreciate the fact that we feel that most of the emails we receive, people are telling the truth.
Dude, there was a lot of interesting things were brought to light by the live show demographics. And there were some interesting consistencies. So first of all, I really enjoyed the after show hang with everybody.
Yeah, same.
And I look forward to doing that in the future. Like, I think that will always be a component of whatever we're doing.
Yeah, unless
COVID
we get
permitting.
too big.
Yeah, unless we get too big.
Unless we're blowing up.
But these were fairly big shows, and meeting everybody after the show was really a good time. It was nice to put faces to names, especially with people that we DM'd with or not. And it was just nice to meet everybody. But as far as parallels are concerned, there was a strong Cougar contingent at both shows.
That's right. Shout out Lil and Jane Baker's mom.
Yes, Jane Baker's mom.
Shout out Jane Baker's mom.
Jane Baker's mom.
Those 4 women sitting front and center. I called them the après ski crowd because they were to a woman. They were wearing the nicest coats that I'd ever seen.
They looked nice. Yeah.
Each one of them had a coat on that if Sierra were to buy that coat, I would say, great coat.
Yeah.
Each one of them.
They look like they spend each season in a different place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they looked kind of like American fancy.
Yeah.
You know
classy
what I mean?
Classy
Classy
ladies.
broads.
Yeah, I liked them.
There was a lot of mother-daughter pairings at both shows. And funnily enough, both at the after party, there was a mother-daughter combo sitting in the same exact 2 seats at the bar, both times.
Oh, so the first time there was a mother-daughter combo sitting in those seats, and then the next time the next mother-daughter combo was sitting in those seats.
Correct.
Too. Interesting. Wow, that's the
Yes.
mother-daughter seat.
Yes, the mother-daughter seat.
And who did we have? There was another Jane, the policewoman.
Oh, was her name Liz?
Jane? Liz, who told the winning
Oh yeah,
story.
also mother-daughter sitch.
Yeah, she told the winning story.
Yeah, she was great.
The cheesecake winning story.
Oh yeah. So we gave away stuff, some Stewarts, and the kind of grand prize for the biggest oops would receive kind of one of the famous cheesecakes, and that was fun.
I think for me the highlight was your dad coming on and you two really going at it to determine the veracity of the deer collision story.
Yeah.
Because to this day your dad doesn't believe you.
He doesn't believe that.
And you
actually.
had said that, and I thought, well, maybe that's just a gimmick, but it's true. He really doesn't believe you, and he's up there. And then your dad, and I started colluding in our, playing good cop, bad cop to try to get the truth out of you. And boy, is it fun to play the bad cop to Big G's good cop.
Oh, dude, it was very funny. Also, we had some people fly in from different places. Shout out Mane. I hope I'm saying that right. I might be saying that completely wrong. But these girls from LA flew in, and we had people from all over. It was so fun, man.
It was really cool. We'll come to a city near you. We're thinking probably a little, Philadelphia, Chicago, Boston type of carousel situation to start, and then after that, the world. We'll see. We'll see where the winds blow us, but.
Well, dude, this was funny too. So we talked about this during the live show as well, but during the first live show, a couple came and they actually broke up at the show.
Unbelievable. And
I believe they're both listeners of the pod.
I can't believe I would not have thought that our live show would sort of make that happen for people.
I know. So I was kind of like, all right. And I think apparently apparently after the second show, somebody but broke up with their boyfriend also, but he wasn't at the show. Is the difference?
What were we just up
don't
there
know.
saying, you know, boy, there's a lot of beautiful people in the world. Don't settle. You know, it's not like we were
I'm not sure.
encouraging people to rupture.
Maybe it was just coincidental.
It could be.
But dude, this is great. So the girl went over her. She went over her boyfriend's house to make up a few days later, and he was smoking dad grass when she arrived, which is hilarious. I'm like, I love this like oops themed break up, get back together situation.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just like fully embedded in that couple's life, dude. It's pretty fucking funny. Dude, last thing. So we appreciate everybody who grabbed up some of that merch. There was kind of like a limited amount, so it went pretty quickly. We do appreciate it. Dude, one guy, Eric Green, he bought a bunch of tees to give to the people who work for him. And he's like, dude, I'm going to force them to wear these.
Good.
So we may be getting a picture soon of an entire office group
Sure hope so.
who are wearing oops tees, and that'll be really fucking
Sure
funny.
hope so. That's a great way to spread the love, spread the word.
Dude, another fun thing, we had a couple orders that are in New York City, and I think it might be funny to just like drop them off in person.
Like Santa.
Yeah, and just be like, there's a Julio here for you. And people are like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I guess send him up.
But I could also see, you know, see people being like slightly annoyed. Like
why?
we're not so big. It's not like The Rock dropping by to
It's
drop.
not like I'm filming it. You know what I mean?
No,
if
but them
were,
having to, you know, come down, let us in. Oh, guys, I'm doing, you know, inventory right now.
That's funny. I get there, I'm like, hey, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, dude, I'm busy.
We sit down on their couch, and they're like, so what's up? You know?
Can I get you something really quickly because we need you to get out of here.
I had an idea for you know that song, "Baby It's Cold Outside."
I do.
That every year people try to cancel
Yes.
because, admittedly, it's a little bit problematic. You know the lyrics?
Can you refresh my memory?
Yeah, they people say that it's very coercive and borderline.
Oh, I really can't stay.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na. Oh, okay.
Hold on. There's one lyric that in particular has not aged well.
I've roofied your drink.
Yeah, dude, seriously, the neighbors might think, baby, it's bad out there. Say, what's in this drink? No cabs to be had out there. I wish I knew how, your eyes are like starlight now, to break this spell. I'll take your hat, your hair looks swell. She says, so what's in this drink?
Yeah.
And then there's a part where she says, you're pushy, you know? And he says, I like to think of it as opportunistic.
Oh boy.
I simply must go. Baby, it's cold outside. The answer is no, but baby, it's cold outside. The welcome has been so nice and warm. I mean, he just really won't let her leave. So I was thinking of making the reverse song where it's, you know, a guy's at a girl's house and she wants him to leave and he won't. You know, because we've all been there. The lingerer.
That's pretty funny.
We've all missed.
It's
the
getting
writing on
real
the
late.
wall. Yeah. Either that, or it would be a song where you could also do. The girl comes over and they, you know, would have hooked up or something, and then she's like, "I really gotta go," and he's like, "Cool, I'll call you an Uber." She's like, I can't stick around. He's like, sounds good. Have a safe trip home.
right.
She's like, well, maybe one drink more. And he's like, oh no, really? You can get home. She's like, my mother will start to worry. You told her you were coming here? My father will be pacing for. Do you still live with them? Like, we're 33 years old.
That's funny.
Something like that. I don't know. Just a politically correct version of Baby, It's Cold
Dude,
Outside.
I think you're onto something.
Something
Throw
I'm
that shit on your gram, bro.
cooking up in the old brain.
Throw that on the gram, pal.
Yeah.
So, Francis, one of Hillary and I's big kind of New Year's resolutions is going to be to cook more. We've been pretty bad about it, and we're really
You guys do need to improve at that.
We're bad at it. And
I cooked a prime rib the other night.
I know you did. You slow cooked that puppy.
Yeah. Was that a short rib? I cooked a short rib. That's
Yeah.
what it was, not a prime rib.
You sure did. Literally, it's the opposite of what we do. You are like taking on these like big culinary challenges, and we take out every single meal.
But each time you do it, you realize it's not as hard as you thought.
each time you cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, dude.
You say it's a big challenge, and it's not. I promise.
To me,
you.
it is still, but I know that once I get used to it, it will not be. But it's going to take work. I like the prep, the everything. It just like it does require a sort of a lifestyle adjustment, and whatever. So, but we're taking baby steps to kind of try to get into it. And one thing that we've been using is called HelloFresh. And I don't know if it's a brand that I had been familiar with before we started working with them.
Yeah, me too.
If you guys don't know what it is, HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can completely skip your trips to the grocery store. Count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Dude, with HelloFresh, the ingredients travel from the farm directly to your door within a week so that you get the convenience without skimping on any of the quality. And listen, as the cold days are here, there's nothing better than cozying up with some comforting home-cooked meals, dude. Recipes like chicken ramen and shoyu-style broth, turkey ragu gnocchi. You just right? That sounds pretty damn good, dude. Make it a no-brainer to skip on paying for takeout, obviously. So this has been nice for us. Like, and it's funny because for some people, HelloFresh is a thing where like they do it because they don't have time, whereas we're using it to try to get used to cooking. You know what I mean?
It's a good starting place. It's a good
It's a
way.
really good way to get in there. So if you go to HelloFresh.com/oops14, that's HelloFresh.com/oops14 and use the code oops14. You can get up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Well, what else we got?
So, dude, I talked about. Sorry to keep saying I talked about this on the live show, but this is an update from that because I got Hillary a gift for Christmas, and I've given it to her already because I'll explain. You'll understand why in a second. But I was worried because my building makes it very difficult to order gifts for someone because a lot of they do inventory and you get an email about what is there. And if it's a thing that's a surprise, it's possible to ruin the surprise. Granted, if it's like Amazon package, surprise not ruined. But when it says 50-inch TV, surprise ruined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
That's true.
Hill Dog has wanted a TV in the bedroom. And she's like, should we get a TV in the bedroom? And I'm like, no, like we don't need one. And she's like, come on, wouldn't it be nice? And I'm always just like, no. And I'm not like shutting it down. But like, since we're having this discussion, I tell her that I don't want one. And the discussion has kind of ended. So I was like, that would be a good gift to get her. She's going to Vegas for work. I'm going to bring Vasil over, who's our handyman.
Basil?
Dude, this guy's the fucking man. People love their handyman.
You've told me about
Yeah.
this guy, Basil.
Yeah, he's great. So Vasil comes over. We mount the TV, put a bow on it. And now I'm like, okay, baby, Hillary's coming back. She's going to see. But when the TV arrived, when she was gone, we both get an email that says 50-inch TV. Oof. So I call her and I'm like, hey, I need your email password because your Christmas present's about to be ruined. And she just goes, I'm not giving you my email password. And I was like, okay, wait, well, this just turned into something completely different.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what's so bad about your email? I'm like, all right, whatever, no big deal. So anyway, she showed me herself checking it and deleting it. And I was like, when she comes home, I will know if she read it by her reaction.
Was it in the subject of the email?
No. She would have had to open the email to see it.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
you know, curious people might check and then pretend like they were surprised.
That's true. Curiosity.
So at the live show, I was like, even if I, or did you want me to say killed the cat?
No, I just said curiosity, and that was the end of my contribution.
But dude, so, and I said at the live show, I'm like, if she comes back and I can tell that she looked, I need to just let it go, right? And everybody's like, yes, obviously. I'm like, okay, fine. So anyway, she comes back, and dude, I was so psyched because her Vegas schedule was crazy. Like, go all day. She was run down. She was so tired. She's like, I can't wait to get home and take a shower. Like, I'm so tired. And she walks in the door and she walks into the room and she catches it in her periphery. And like, unless she just pulled the biggest Daniel Day-Lewis of all time, there's no way she saw it coming.
That's great.
And like, she may have even shed a tear of joy.
Come on.
She wasn't like sobbing, but she may have shed a tear of joy. Wow. It was a really nice moment. I was really happy. You know when like you got somebody a gift that you know they're gonna like, and you're so excited to give it to them. It like was so fun, dude.
That is great.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Is there no part of you that feels a little bit bummed that you didn't get to give it to her on Christmas proper?
Like maybe, but dude, also like she's never really celebrated Christmas, so
So it didn't
it
matter.
didn't really fucking matter.
Well, you could have said it was a Hanukkah present,
Yeah, so let's say it was a Hanukkah present.
but you need to say that.
Okay, it was a Hanukkah present.
You need to
Hill.
say that to her.
It was a Hanukkah / Christmas / whatever the fucking else.
Yeah, but you should have said that when she walked in. Happy Hanukkah. Let there be light
I should have.
on the new 50-inch television.
For the record, speaking of this, I'm curious out there if we have any listeners who celebrate Kwanzaa. Because at one point when I was a kid, they started pushing Kwanzaa on us in elementary school,
Yeah.
probably just to be inclusive or whatever. But I've actually never met anybody who celebrated Kwanzaa.
No.
I know nothing about it. I don't know where they do it, when they do it, what the deal with it is. I'd love to learn more about Kwanzaa from people who celebrate
Yeah, I
it.
don't know much about it.
If you could share, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, agree. Okay. Well, I've got a question for you. I have a wedding question for you.
Oh, baby. Baby.
There's something that I'm really interested in here, which is, okay, so people often ask, is she gonna change her name when
yeah.
we get married? We've kind of discussed this. I don't have any say. I don't care.
Yeah.
Is my stance. Like,
I appreciate your stance.
oh
on it.
my God, whatever. What am I gonna claim her like a piece of luggage?
Some people, bro, like they will.
Are you men that want
Yes.
the women to take their name?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
do, I
I'm
do.
sorry. That's just so. That's so caveman-esque.
I agree. I agree. But
What like everyone knows, that you guys are married. I don't know. To me, that feels really outdated at this point. It seems absurd and insecure. Apologies. No, you know what? No apologies. I rescind that apology.
attaboy.
But here's my
Attaboy.
thought, right? So I think Sierra's going to go with, she's going to hyphenate her last name.
Wow.
I think is her call because she loves her last name, but she also likes my last name. And I'm like, cool. Sounds good.
To be honest, you could pronounce it and it would sound like one word. Since your last name starts with a vowel,
Yeah.
I guess her last name ends with one, but still, it could be like, you can say it in a way where it sounds like one name, which is funny,
Well, that would be kind of fun.
right?
Don't even hyphenate it. Just smush them together. Yeah.
But it'll pronounce well.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes when people have super different last names, it's ridiculous to do that to a kid. Like this kid's name is like whatever, John Kaufman Fernandez. It's like, it's just insane. My dad had some student once that had a last name like that. And it was just ridiculous.
I don't think that we're gonna hyphenate the kids' last names.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think we're just hyphenating her last
Have
name.
you discussed this yet?
No, and if she said we are, that'd be fine with me too. I
Yeah.
don't care. I think sports jerseys that have hyphenated names
They
on
look
them look
sick.
really cool.
Agreed.
You need to print the letters really small.
Wings, or you can just give them fucking wings, dude.
Yeah. What?
Imagine the H starts to go down the arm side of the
Oh,
jersey
yeah,
too, like
yeah,
in a
yeah,
football
yeah.
jersey.
Yeah.
It's fire.
I think Latavius Caldwell Pope.
Oh yeah, that's a great name.
There's some really cool names.
That's a really good name.
Um,
KCP.
Yeah. What is it?
Kentavious.
Kentavious, not Latavius. Excuse me. But here's my question,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, once you have decided on the name thing and you get married, right? This is where my question is: do you think that the wife should then change her email to reflect her new name? Because think about this. We're putting a bunch of emails into our save the date
Yeah.
spreadsheet. And a lot of the women, the wives of my guy friends, who I know are now have taken their husband's names.
Yeah.
Their emails remain
Right.
their maiden name.
So you can set up
But-
mail forwarding though, right?
What?
You can set up mail forwarding.
What, to a new email?
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. Ready? I then realized also that some of the women I know who took their husband's names instantly sent out a massive email blast to everybody in their Gmail
Saying here's
sort
my
of
new
thing, saying I have a new email name and new email address and it's this, and it reflected their new name, which I think to me is unnecessary.
I would agree. It's just the way that I operate. But I feel like, quote, normal people use email stuff like that more like conventionally than I or we maybe do.
Your email is to me almost more important than my phone number.
It is, but like
it's been locked.
It's easy to find. It's like if I'm gonna go email somebody, like I just look for their email in my email.
Yeah, but listen to me. Ready? I've had my same email address. I have 2 email addresses, one for work, comedy, and one for just personal. I've had my personal email address for, I don't know, 13, 14 years, going back to high school.
Crazy.
And there are so many people from my life who have that email in their book, in their, digital sort of address book, right? And if I were to change my email, to me that would disconnect me from a lot of people in my life. Even if they received the email saying I had a new email, I fear that if they, sent out a paperless post invite to some event that I wanted to go to, I would not get it because they accidentally sent it to the old one.
I personally I'm not attached to my email like that the way that I am with my phone number. I would have that fear with my phone number, but not with my email.
I think at some point I'm going to have to get a new phone number.
How come?
I think that if my, hopefully if my career continues to advance and I find myself known by more and more people, eventually enough people will have my phone number who have sort of malicious intentions.
So here's my only question about
or
that.
will prank call. I've gotten prank calls before.
So I know a lot of people, and I've actually started to realize that the biggest obstacle for people when they become very famous, and we both obviously know people who are super successful in our business, is not about the malicious stuff. It's more about the expectation. Suddenly everybody in your life is like way more invested in your life.
Yeah, and texting you more.
And it becomes a thing where it's like you can't possibly contribute to their lives the way that they think they contribute to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And this has not happened to me. I'm not talking for myself. I'm talking for like any of the people I know who are just like very wildly successful. That becomes a problem where like they're supposed to be as excited as, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I think it's sad because when I know people who have gotten massive things, whose number I have, I make a point in my mind to say, don't text them.
I know.
Because you don't want to add another
I know.
unread text to they're surely underwater right now.
It's easy to overthink that text.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other part of it is there's no way that person who just got, cast on SNL or, got some TV show, whatever, got a movie. Pat McAfee's a great example. Do you know who Pat McAfee is?
No.
Pat McAfee was a former punter for the Indianapolis Colts who retired kind of out of the blue and became a comedian.
Oh, wow.
But he also, comedian / through sports.
Okay.
And
was he a commentator?
He has done some
commentary.
commentary.
I think I recognize the name.
But he's very colorful. He does some WWE commentary. And he's got his own daily sort of YouTube / radio show that is funny and informed. And he's kind of one of a kind. I mean, I've never really seen someone who's able to do what he does, this guy. And he worked for Barstool for a little bit.
I don't know.
But then left and did his own thing. He's in Indianapolis, sort of. He's the king of the Midwest. I mean, he's got Indiana locked down. I opened for him. He asked me to come out and open for him at Purdue University. He had sold out a 6,000 seat theater.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
6,000.
That's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
I mean, it was nuts.
Crazy.
And so anyway, he's first of all, I cannot overstate how wonderful and how much this guy is as good as people think he is.
Yeah.
He is. If anything, he exceeds.
Yeah.
In his angelic kind of generosity and his philosophy on life. Absolutely through and through Mother Teresa of a human being. He just signed a massive deal with FanDuel.
Cool.
The betting website, sort of, fantasy football, also bad at betting. $30 million a year for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
He got his bag, as they
Good for
say. And
Get that bag.
everyone's thrilled for him, and I am so thrilled for him. But I have his number. I saw him recently when I went to Indianapolis. I went to the office, great to catch up. And I just knew if I texted him the day that news broke, it's just another text that he has to like open and then hit back, thanks, bro, like crazy, huh? Question mark, or whatever it is. And then God forbid I send another text.
Yeah.
And you have to put yourself in their shoes and think, there's no chance that he is going to not get a text from me and think, well, where the fuck is the text from Francis?
Right.
Why didn't I get why noticeably absent was the congratulatory text from Francis? He's not thinking that.
So I think I think you're being cynical though, dude. Like I know that, I understand that thought process. It's like, oh, I'm gonna text this person and they're just gonna think that I like want to be part of their success, and like I don't want to be like that. Like I whatever.
That's actually not it. To me, it's as simple as creating more blue dots in his phone.
So is that just because you hate your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because if something great happened to me, I would love to just sit there and bask in the glory of it for the entire
Sizzle.
day. Yeah,
Sizzle on the phone.
Because, dude, like when I like getting texts like, "Hey, dude, like I saw what you did." Like if I ever, and granted, maybe it's because like I've never really had big news, but like whenever I have any sort of thing and people text me about it, I love it, dude.
Fair
Dude,
enough.
thank you. It's so nice. Like,
Fair enough. I when I won Barstool Idol, I had over 400 texts.
wow.
And I'm also somebody who can't live with unread text messages on my phone
Okay.
or emails.
I hate it too.
And that meant that I had to go through every single one and reply to all of them. And that to me was so tedious that it caused me anxiety, which is a horrible thing to say. I mean, I'm so grateful, for it all.
Yeah, of course.
But by the end of it, I'm already dreading, let's put it this way, I'm already dreading the thank you notes I'm going to have to write for the wedding gifts we receive. I know that's going to irk me to no end.
Policy Genius.
Oh, yeah.
Life insurance.
Need it.
A place to get life insurance.
Gotta have it.
Policy Genius.
They're the best. Someone's going to miss me, but they'll miss me less thanks to Policy Genius.
This is true, dude. At Policy Genius, you can choose from over a dozen top insurers. It's a marketplace where you can just basically find the best deal. The people who work at Policy Genius work for you. They do not work for the insurance company. You could save up to 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. You could save $1,300 or more per year on life insurance by using Policy Genius to compare policies. $1,300 a year, Francis.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. That is a lot of money, though. I could do a lot with $1,300. It would fully cover one of these obligatory weddings that I have to go to out of the country next year. Maybe not fully, but it'll get close. Eligible applicants can get covered in as little as a week, thanks to an award-winning policy option that swaps the standard medical exam requirement for a simple phone call. Thank God they've incorporated that. This exclusive policy was recently rated #1 by Forbes Advisor, higher than options from Ladder, Ethos, and Bestow. Getting started is easy. Just go to policygenius.com. In minutes, you can work out how much life insurance how much insurance coverage you need, and compare personalized quotes to find your best price. Head to policygenius.com to get started right now. Policy Genius. When it comes to insurance, Francis, it's nice to get it right.
That's it. Well done.
Well, have you watched? This is a good time for me to bring up this recommendation that I have. The Alpinist.
I have not watched it. I saw it on. I want to watch it though,
dude. It's so good. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, no, they're just really trying to milk this climbing boom. Like that's what I thought. They're like, oh, this guy, but dude, it's like, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but this guy, he didn't have a phone for like 5 years.
There you go. What a life.
This guy, you're going to love this guy's vibe. This is a really nice take on this kind of climbing genre. Mm-hmm. Potentially the most interesting one I've ever seen.
More interesting than 14 Peaks.
As interesting.
More badass?
Maybe
nobody's
not
more
badass maybe, but like he's in the same category of badass. If you had to weigh all the badassing, I think 14 Peaks guy probably still wins by a bit.
You know who I think is the most badass guy right now?
Who?
Chris Hemsworth.
What'd he do?
Well, he's got a new series coming out on the Discovery Channel where he
Oh,
pushes
wow.
himself to the limits of human, kind of testing his
So, dude,
body and stuff.
This is even more case in point as to how the sort of unscripted genre is sort of prevailing over like this fake bullshit.
Well, you look at what these. I mean, yeah, it's him. He's an A-list movie star,
Right.
who played Thor, and now he's doing a unscripted
Totally. Like, why would
documentary
I?
series.
It's called Limitless.
Limitless. Yeah.
Why would I want to watch a dramatization of a thing I can watch for real? Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, granted, I like scripted stuff's great. I love a good TV show. You know what I mean? Love it. Just finished watching Made. Loved it.
Yeah.
But like, dude,
Who's the handsome guy from High School Musical?
Zac Efron.
Yeah, so he
Same
did one
thing.
of those.
He did like a travel thing.
Yeah,
It was
he did
awesome.
that. Yeah. Those are you see these A-list actors coming to do these things that are kind of a little more accessible.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I'm into that.
And when it works out, it's an incredible tool. Like, think about all these sort of like actor people who have really thrived in the social media age, and other people who haven't, because like they're not good at like being themselves.
Right. Right.
But dude, Zac Efron came to my show once at the Stand. I ever tell you about
Come
this?
on.
I ripped on him real good. Like, before they were like, don't rip on him, I was like, oh dude, Zac Efron's there. Like, nobody else I don't think noticed him. I got him pretty good. Like,
What'd you say?
I don't know. I think I was just kind of doing like making fun of him for like being like a heartthrob,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like being mean or anything.
He's great.
He gave me a big hug after the show.
Oh,
dude.
that's amazing.
That was cool. Yeah.
Good for you.
I forget what he said.
Was it before or after his body transformation?
I think it was after, because it was when the one where he lived next door to Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
He got
Neighbors.
jacked for that, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so it was after.
I think it was he was jacked for that, but he got jacked for Baywatch.
He got jackeder.
Yeah.
So he wasn't quite as jacked.
No, well,
But
he
big.
was maintaining his
Okay.
jackedness.
He was pretty fucking yoked.
Yeah, so because I was gonna say hugging him must have felt pretty good.
It was cool, dude. Yeah, like we're at Gerard Carmichael. I believe he was on he did the show that night, and he was in that movie. So like a bunch of the cast came, and it was him and McLovin.
No way.
Yep, and a couple other people. But
Interesting.
It was fun.
Well, let me. I have two interesting kind of stand-up comedy points to throw at you.
Let's hear it.
Something happened last night that was a really interesting moment in that does not happen very often for me. I had a show, hot crowd, great crowd
Where at?
the Stand.
Okay.
Main room show, 8 o'clock show, prime time. I went up first, and the drive to the club, I had one new bit that was the entire point of this set that I was about to do. I said, I just have to do this one joke, and that will be, that's the only thing I have to remember. I want to make sure that I try this bit, right? I had a mission. Because a lot of the time you just go, maybe you're working on old jokes, you're punching stuff up, but I had a brand new bit that I wanted to try.
Yeah.
And I get on stage, I get into my set, it's going well. All of a sudden I get the light. My set, I have 2 minutes left. My set's coming to an end. And I realize I haven't done the bit yet.
Oh yeah.
And I had to go through this calculus in my head of, will I be more angry with myself on the way home for having not done the new bit and having effectively gained very little from coming in and doing this set? Or will I be more angry if I end on a bit I've never done before and it bombs? Because an untold joke,
Right.
breaking it out of the package,
Well, how was the set going?
you have no idea how it's going to go. The set was going great.
Okay.
So the stakes were high in that I worried I could just crash and burn on my very last minute on stage. And I decided that I am at a point in my career where I'd rather do the bit and watch it bomb and then be like, whatever, and get off stage. Like, I can handle that now, as opposed to that feeling of being like, I just went through the motions again and I didn't learn anything from that set, And I did the bit and it crushed.
It's great, dude.
First time
Good for
ever.
you. Good for you.
Never even said it out loud. There's the thing from my phone, and I was like goofing around with it. And Aaron Berg was waiting off stage to come on next, and he goes, "Man, what a closer!"
Oh, nice.
Like he knew. He even made a comment about how the last joke was the best joke of the
Nice,
whole
dude.
set.
It's great.
And I came home feeling like a king.
It's great, man.
That was
I'm
a-
glad.
that
I'm glad
was
you
a
did
good
that,
feeling.
man. It is a good feeling. And you know, I can relate to it in that sometimes like you'll have a bit that sort of like reflects the current you so well. And I'm not saying this has happened to me this dramatically necessarily, but like you'll write a bit where like all of a sudden the rest of your act is like almost obsolete.
Yeah.
And you need to like write like everything needs to now catch up to this new benchmark bit that you have.
But that's good. That's
Yeah,
evolution.
Yeah, totally.
It really is. Okay,
good for
now
you, man.
let me offer you an other side, a darker side of the coin.
Okay.
So, we were at the stand. I think that yesterday was so Thursday, but then the weekend before, last week on Friday, I had a bunch of spots that went late into the night, and I was there, and a very dear friend of mine from Maine that I've known for many years was in town. And I told him to come hang and have a few drinks. And so he was hanging with us, and he looked dapper. He was wearing a nice sort of blazer.
Nice.
And he, you know, he might to an untrained eye have appeared to be kind of sort of like a finance bro, but he is actually a guy who has dedicated his entire professional life to community building. He builds these incredible community centers in Portland, Maine, Portland community around squash.
Oh, wow.
Because he played squash at Bowdoin. His name's Barrett. And he is all about community outreach and creating these centers for underfed, underprivileged people, families. They have classrooms for sort of after school tutoring. And it gives the kids a place to go because most of their parents work late jobs, and it's been a massive success.
Nice.
A massive success
How does it build around squash?
because they have squash courts.
So the kids all
The
learn
kids
squash
learn
too?
squash, so there's a sort of that aspect of it, the sport aspect of it,
Uh-huh.
and then they also get one-on-one tutoring, you know, if they need it, as well
Nice.
as free meals.
Sweet.
And it's a model that he's now expanding, and he's, you know, they've been talked about on CNN, and they have an amazing endowment because people donate, and it's just been a massive, massive success. And now they're opening up these centers to have private members as well, because they want to create, as he puts it, an all-inclusive country club.
Cool.
So he has you've got like a pay structure where, you know, wealthy people who want to play squash, which is a very white collar sport, will pay, you know, premiums, but that will provide scholarships for these younger kids, these, you know, at-risk youth, to have their families come in and become members too, and they're playing side by side. And you want to talk about community building. I mean, that is crossing, you know, socioeconomic, racial divides. It is as productive and progressive a way to bring a community together as you could have. And it's sensational. I mean, this guy is so smart. He could be doing anything. He could be a banker, whatever, but he's chosen to do this, and he keeps doing it, and that's his mission in life. And he speaks in a way, when you hear him talk about it, you just think like, my God, I want to give all my money to you. He's so compelling. So he's there. This guy is a true servant of the world. He's sitting at the comics table with us, and people are being fucking dicks to him.
What are they saying?
You know, he's just sitting there, and like, there were a couple comics, I'm not going to name names, but like, you know, first of all, I go up, and the host didn't light me. She lit me like 2 minutes late. She gave me the light, which meant, you know, that someone flashes a light, which means you have 2 minutes left. But she lit me 2 minutes late. And the next comic that was supposed to go on gave her shit and said, "Oh, you're just letting him go late because he's a white guy?" Said that.
Oh God. What?
And so Barrett heard that, whatever. He didn't say anything, obviously. But this person then, you know, was like giving Barrett shit for sitting at the comics table.
Is there even a comics table at the stand?
No, not really,
Yeah,
but
there
it was
isn't
where
really.
all the comics were sitting. And he was trying to contribute to the conversation, and like someone was telling a story, and he was being an active listener and sort of like responding with one or two words. And she goes, "You're not listening. You don't know how to listen." And in front of me, I was like, "Jesus fucking Christ!"
I love how I already know who this is.
And the last piece is that Barrett then told a joke, like just nothing, and she goes, "You should give that to Francis. That would help his act."
I mean, that's just like
No, dude, you
was
don't
bad?
understand. There was venom.
Okay.
There was venom.
Okay.
I promise you. It was not busting balls.
Okay.
It was, "You're not welcome here. Fuck you. Fuck this." And then look, I don't have a problem with comics, being harsh on each other, but to some random person, like, take away the fact that he's a good citizen. He's a guest.
yeah.
Let's behave. Let's present ourselves as human beings. It made me just remember that comedians are underdeveloped losers. That our colleagues, by and large, are fucking losers. Why can't they be nice?
Yeah, no, they definitely can.
What is this? What is this culture of menace
I know.
and vitriol that we've embraced?
Yeah, no, it's not. I agree. And there's certain people where it's like you can't bring the comic even people who are like my good friends sometimes. I like can't mix them with other people because I just know that they won't be able to have a back and forth.
I used to have so much admiration for comedians. I thought they were the coolest people in the world.
I know, and you say that, and it's funny. I almost feel like you were duped.
Well, I thought, my God, what a cool pursuit. These noble truth sayers, these people who, the last bastion of free speech, finding truth in comedy, these tortured,
Right.
defenders of our right to expression and all of that. The flag bearers of the First Amendment,
Right.
and now 10, 11 years in, I'm just like, these people are fucking losers.
Yeah.
Not all of them. The successful people aren't dicks as much. Some are, but then you're like, all right, maybe you've earned it. It's those middling people who have not, who have plateaued and are just around and think that, I don't know. If I'm being, I realize I'm a little like worked up about this because I was mad that they were mean to my friend for no purpose
Yeah.
other than he's not welcome here. Who does he think he is sitting with us?
That's annoying. Yeah.
How dare you speak? Comics are speaking. Who the fuck do we think we are?
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's not, you hate, you hate to see it. dude.
We're nice to people.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There's no point. We work with these people. Why create a shitty workplace in a comedy club? What's the point? It's not going to elevate you.
Yeah, no, it's you're right, dude. Comics can be rough around the edges,
I feel bad. I'm pushing Julio into a corner and forcing him to either agree with me.
No, you're
or
not.
deflect.
I'm not really. I haven't said much. Like I just think like I agree with what you're saying, and you can't. Unfortunately, a lot of comedians don't have as good of social skills as kind of some other random people you might encounter. You know what I mean, to say the least. But fuck, dude. Like it's. I'm sorry. It sucks that happened.
I don't know. It just it really made me reconsider the credit that I've doled out to a lot. And I don't. This is not like a mass write off. I know that it sounds that I'm speaking in very sweeping terms here, but I definitely think the wool has been removed from my eyes about comedy and the world of comedians, and to me, it's a job now. They're not my friends. You're my friend, but that's because we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Comedians are my coworkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I know.
And I don't think because all they can bond over is comedy. That's all we talk about. And it's one dimensional. And I find it boring at this point. All right. That's the end of that. I apologize. Had to vent for a second. Every once in a while, the ugly Francis rears his head.
Dude, it's all good. It's all good, man. We gotta get you a shot of some Way Tananga.
Oh, baby. I could use a little of that.
Little Brooklyn coffee.
Yeah. Well, we have to mention, so we mentioned on the last episode that the Oops blend would be out by now. They've had a little bit of a packaging shortage in the rollout, but it's being solved as we speak, I promise. So hold tight, and everything is going to be sorted. And as soon as our incredible Oops coffee is available, we will post about it. You'll hear about it. You'll see it. It should be very, very soon, before Christmas. So
it was really well kind of thought out, and it kind of includes the Oops blend includes sort of pieces from both of our legacies.
Yeah, let me read that again. I know I read it in the last episode, but
we love Brooklyn Roasting Company, the best coffee. Join their Coffee of the Month club. Check out all their stuff. If you use code OOPSBEANS, you get 5% off your order. All that good stuff that you know and love. And the Oops blend is on the way, and it's going to be fucking dope.
That's right.
I can see Francis looking at the logo. It looks
this
amazing.
custom roast of best quality coffees from East Africa and Indonesia is soft and sweet with luscious berry notes. That's Julio. Complementing rich, roasty chocolate and smoke character. That's me. I think we just saw the fire-breathing dragon himself. Get some Oops coffee, baby, and join their Coffee of the Month club, brooklynroasting.com, promo code OOPSBEANS. That'll get you 5% off.
So did I tell you this already, how I was fucking with my cousin's kid? I don't think I told you this. So Hill Dog obviously coming for the holidays with my family, and my cousin's kid he remembered her. And when I saw him last, she wasn't there for Thanksgiving. And he asked me, he's like, "Is that girl coming?" And I said, "Yes." And his kid's like, he's like 4 years old, I think. And he
4?
Goes, yeah, he's 4. And he goes,
"Is that girl coming?"
He
said that at 4?
Is that girl coming? I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "What's her name again?" And I said, "Robert." And I just hear all my family go, "Julio." I'm like, "What?" "Her name's Robert." So I just hope that he starts calling her Robert, dude. That'll just be so fucking funny to me. I'm really looking forward to that.
That's great.
The holidays with the old Hill Diggity Dog. It's going to be fun. Dude, I've been telling her I want to change up my look. I watch all of these, like, I get into these wormholes of watching like Spanish music videos late at night.
Oh, boy.
And it'll be like 4 or 5 in the morning, and Hillary will be like, "Let's go to bed. Can we please go to bed?"
Is she up with you? What's she doing?
So say we've had some like late weekends, and it'll be like 3, 4 in the morning, and she'll be like, "I want to go to bed." And I'll be like, I'll look at her, I'll be like, "I'm having fun. I'm not going to bed."
I'm having fun at 4 in the morning watching Spanish music videos.
Dude, literally.
Are you watching them on TV or on
Yeah,
your
on
phone?
YouTube on the TV.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So like I'll get into these like Bad Bunny wormholes where I'm like watching his old videos, or like I watch a lot of Rosalia. I've seen every Rosalia music video like 10 times. So at this point, like I'm just waiting for the new ones. But then like a lot of Karol G, like just a lot of all this shit, whatever. And anyway, so I watch these people and they wear this crazy shit. And I'm constantly trying to think like, how can I change up my look? So I'll like throw suggestions by Hillary and she'll like shoot them all down. But dude, she got me a gift now. This is me changing up my look. She's got me a bracelet, a gold bracelet.
I did notice that.
I don't even know if you'd call this. What would you call this? There's a word for this.
Bangle?
A bangle, something.
Yeah.
This is the extent of my look changing. This is like a 1/16 of a centimeter.
It's very thin. Yeah.
I think it's 14 karat gold.
Are you going to create sort of a sleeve? What do they call it when stacking? Are you going to start stacking
So dude,
bracelets?
I really can't, because like I have sort of a tendinitis situation from tennis that's sort of lingering. So when I constrict my wrist movement, it like fucks my entire arm up to my
Interesting.
shoulder.
Interesting.
So like I have to kind of do it sparingly. But dude, I'm still looking to change my look. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like, but I need to do something. I got to change up the look, dude.
You know, you got to be, my advice would be to do it gradually.
Right. Not
Because
doing just
if
an
you
overhaul.
all of a sudden say one day, you know what, I'm done looking basic, and you went out and you bought a whole bunch of insane clothes, and tried to look like a Gen Z TikToker who's wearing pink wind pants and a bucket plaid hat and, you know, like a Japanese streetwear kind of crazy.
Wearing clogs.
Yeah, parachute pants and whatever. People would laugh at you.
Yeah.
But if you gradually did it, you might be able to pull it off because it's all about owning it.
Yeah.
And you can own one thing at a time.
Man, I just would love to be a fucking Puerto Rican trap star, man.
Do you think she's going to regret having the TV in the bedroom since you're staying up till 3, 4 in the morning
So I
watching
think
videos?
so. Her hope is Ryan. That's a really good question. So this is what happened in her old apartment. I would be kind of restless, and I don't want you guys to think I go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Normally, I don't. I keep like a fairly normal schedule during the week. But I'd go to her apartment, and it would be 11 o'clock, and I would have just got home from a spot, and she's going to sleep, and I'm just sitting staring at the ceiling for hours, which would make her sort of like. She wouldn't want that for me. It would stress her out that I'm just awake and that like she's forcing me to go to bed. So she got a TV in her room so that I would have something to do when she was sleeping. So we both are able to fall asleep to the TV if we had to, like we put on the sleep time or whatever. So her hope is that I will watch those Spanish music videos from bed. On Friday or Saturday night.
Are you gonna wear headphones and Bluetooth it to the TV?
No, like it's not even about the volume. No, I'll be watching it with the music on and she'll be sleeping. But she's wrong. I'm still gonna do it from the couch. I enjoy the couch environment. I want somewhere for my drink.
You are a crazy person. What a strange hill to die on. You know something? She's right. That's not good for you.
But dude, I like it. It's fun. I really have fun.
Fine, but you should do it during the day.
It's just not as fun during the day, dude. I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm a little fucking twisted. I'm sitting there. I'm watching my videos. I'm just having a great time.
Why do you like these so much?
I just really love the genre, dude. Like I've
sound of the music, or is it the dancing, or is it whatever they're putting on these things?
Most of the videos aren't even that good, to be honest. There's a couple of them that are, but the vast majority of them are pretty bad. Like there'll be some like random parallel narrative happening that makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. And then like what they're doing like doesn't always match the vibe of the song also, which like bothers me. But like there's 3 or 4 videos that like I really love, dude. Like there's this one video called La Noche Anoche, and it's a Bad Bunny and Rosalia song. And I've watched the video probably 1,000 times. And like when the YouTube is sitting idle and we have people over, I'll put it on. And Hillary will immediately scold me and be like, so-and-so don't want to watch Bad Bunny and Rosalia. So there's like 3 or 4 videos. There's that one. Another one is called Dakiti. That's a very good video that I watch over and over. Also a Bad Bunny song. Whatever. But dude, most of the videos aren't even that good, dude. I don't know what it is. I'm like mesmerized by the genre.
There's a documentary about that Brazilian guy who's a great singer who is super famous.
I don't know if I even know him. I mean, it's like different, but like...
Yeah, you do. He's
Brazilian
huge.
guy?
He's huge.
He's Brazilian?
Yeah.
And he sings in Portuguese?
I think so.
Right.
He's had some huge hits.
I don't know that I know him.
They had a documentary about him. I think it was on Amazon.
Anita?
No, a guy. He's got a shaved head.
Jay
Colvin.
Jay Balvin?
Balvin.
He's not Brazilian, I don't
He's
think.
not Brazilian.
He's Latin something.
I thought he was Brazilian.
If he is, that's a huge plot twist. What is he? Colombian?
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
That makes sense.
Do you like him?
He's okay. I got to be honest. No offense to Jay Balvin. I think he's a little bit overrated. I've never felt captivated by him in a song. Like when he's on the song, I'm always kind of like, he's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also think that his fucking meal at McDonald's, dude, how he could co-sign that is like
I don't know what it is.
borderline irresponsible. The J Balvin meal. It's like a McFlurry and a fucking Big Mac or something. It's like something no one should be eating. It's like the most unhealthy. Can you look that up too, Ryan? What the J Balvin meal is?
What was the Travis Scott meal?
The Travis Scott meal was much more basic. It was like a hamburger with bacon on it and something else. But the J Balvin meal is like borderline irresponsible.
Do you think that Travis Scott should be held responsible for what happened at his shows?
Good question. Ryan, you hit me with the J Balvin meal, and then I'll answer that.
But first, Big Mac, French fries, and a McFlurry.
No one should
And
be
ketchup.
No one should be eating all that,
I
dude.
mean, that's hitting all the tiers of the food pyramid.
Have you seen J Balvin? There's no way J Balvin eats that meal. There's no way. No
you'd
one
be
eats.
surprised.
You shouldn't be eating that meal.
Guy like that, I can guarantee you, he's probably up till 6 a.m. watching weird friggin'
He's slender.
Latin music videos
He's slender.
too.
He's
Which
slender.
when you meth yourself out like that, you lose weight. You get that kind of crackhead slenderness.
He looks good. He looks like a rock star.
Yeah,
I personally just am not that. I prefer some of the other artists over him.
got it.
And yeah, dude,
Travis Scott, is he culpable?
So dude, I mean, 50,000 people at that show, right?
Yeah.
If you look at sort of the other famous big shows that have happened throughout history, like, people always die at them, dude. You know what I mean? Like there's a risk associated with going to them. I'm not saying go at your own risk. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that. I think that there's a lot of people who are, but I gotta be honest. I think it's like a bitch move of these artists who are like pulling him off of their songs now because they just like don't want to be controversial. It's like, are you serious? You're going to take him off the song? He wasn't shooting people. Like, I get that, like, there's, they should have stopped the show, but sure. Like, it was a terrible thing. Nobody should be dying at concerts. But also, one of the people who died was 9 years old. Why is a 9-year-old at a concert like that? And I know that Travis Scott concerts get pretty rowdy, but like, that's why they're awesome also. So like, measures should be taken to prevent stuff like that from happening. I don't know all the specifics, but
That's a good answer.
right?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I think that's a good answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know enough about it. I don't really, I haven't followed it that much. From what I've heard, the fact that he really encourages people to just lose their friggin' minds or whatever, that's why people think he deserves a share of the blame, right?
I think that must have something to do with it.
But then you look at, I remember going, metal concerts
Dude.
when mosh pits would form.
the Woodstock 99 doc, not to
Yeah.
bring that up again, but like there were 500,000 people there. A lot of people died at that.
Okay, I got one more pop culture question for you,
Cool.
which I think is one of the most interesting
Can I say
things.
one more thing about Travis Scott?
Yeah, please.
So one of the things that was super ominous about the Travis Scott thing is he dropped 2 songs like right before that show that are both fucking amazing, by the way. And like the thumbnail of the songs is super creepy, which makes the whole thing even creepier. So the 2 songs, one of them's called Escape Plan and the other one's called Mob. Can you look that up, Ryan? There's 2 songs. They're really good. Really, really good songs. And I was like really excited for him to like drop his new album. And I think that that's sort of on the shelf now as he deals with sort of the guilt and the blowback of all this. But it's like this, it's almost like a Martian. It's like him, but an alien. I don't know. The second song is called Mafia. Did I say that? I think I did, or whatever. But it says the true dystopia is here, and it looks like a kind of like a newspaper, and it's this sort of like alien version of Travis Scott, and it's like kind of sort of like ominous and crazy.
Yikes.
that. So I don't know. I would check out those songs though if you like hip hop. But what were you gonna ask?
Cool. All right, left turn here. So, have you read this story about the transgender swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania?
No, I don't know about anything about
swam
this.
for the men's team for the first couple years? I think, yeah, first swam for the men's team for the first 3 years, and then started taking, I think, hormone blockers and whatnot, transitioned, and then is now swimming for the women's team.
I don't know about this.
And she recently set school records in the 200-meter freestyle and the 500-meter freestyle. The team member's name, their name is Leah Thomas.
Okay.
I think it's she. I don't know if she's going by they. It might be she. So if I have the pronouns wrong, I apologize. But Leah Thomas set a school record in the 1,650 meter freestyle, and her teammate finished in second place, 38 seconds behind her.
Wow.
So she's dominating.
Yeah.
And they go on to say that if based on some of her times that she has swum, that she swam when she was a male before the transition, if she were to match those times, she would break like Katie Ledecky's college record, and some of the greatest Olympian swimmers of all times break their collegiate records. And now some of her female teammates are speaking out against her.
Oh, wow.
And it's a very interesting moment to me because, you know, they say that pretty much everyone individually has spoken to our coaches about not liking this. Our coach, this is an anonymous teammate who came out. And
This is the University of Pennsylvania?
U-PENN.
Okay.
Our coach just really likes winning. He's like most coaches. I think secretly everyone just knows it's the wrong thing to do, the female Penn swimmer said.
Well, aren't they happy that their team's good?
They're not happy that effectively a guy transitioned and is now competing with the women and is just dominating everybody. Chappelle made that joke a couple of specials ago where he said if LeBron James came out as trans and started competing in the WNBA, he'd score 200 points a game or something, which probably is not untrue. I don't, you know, how do you make it fair for trans athletes to compete? You know, what is the answer there?
I have an answer to this.
Well, the last quote I want to tell you is, she says this, you know, the anonymous teammate says, when the whole team is together, we have to be like, oh my gosh, go Leah. That's great. You're amazing. It's very fake.
That's fucked up.
Like they're just like all clapping, but inside they're seething.
Right.
And I think it's this interesting moment of kind of, you know, even for people who consider themselves, I guess, feminist or progressive or very accepting, this is a reality, this athletic reality that is difficult to reconcile, I would say.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair.
Okay. But dude, who cares, dude? I don't care. Like, great. It's like nobody's going to start being trans just to win. Like, that's like a really difficult decision. And it's a really tough world for trans people. I feel really bad for them. And I'm happy that like things have been progressing for them. And if a guy transitioned and becomes a woman and starts breaking all the records, good for him. Good for her. You know what I mean? I truly don't care.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And I want people to be whoever they want to be. And I don't think anybody should be limited based on how they identify themselves. 100%.
Yeah.
For me, this is all I'm saying is a very simple comment on, I hate to say this, but there's like I'm a little bit smug in the fact that I know that a bunch of these women, I suspect that some of these women on the women's U-PENN swim team probably considered themselves very progressive and very accepting until
they got
they had this person come onto their team and just absolutely blow them out of the water.
So it's surprising.
And
to
now
me,
they're like angry. They're bitter about it.
Right. It's surprising to me though. As a team, don't you want a ringer teammate? Like it doesn't change anything. Like
they're super competitive though.
But like
everyone's vying for the top spot. Think about this. You're the number one player. Let's say that you played women's tennis at BU, right? And you fought all, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior year to get to that number one singles spot. And then all of a sudden, someone that had been playing for the men's team
transitions,
comes over to your team, and you're getting destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What would you feel? How would you feel? Would you be like, well, I'm so glad, you know,
there's
we're
no
going to
way,
win more matches now.
There's no way for me to sort of anticipate what that would feel like. However, I see what you're saying. And I would expect that sort of the opposing teams might have an issue with it. But still, like having a ringer on your team is great. And either way, like me playing number one and now I'm not number one anymore. Like I don't really know if I would care that much, dude, to be honest. I don't really know. I'm serious. Like it's just stupid topic. I like this idea that like everybody's gonna start transitioning and it's gonna like it's ridiculous.
No, I don't buy into the slippery slope side of it or anything.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's Leah.
Leah looking good.
Yeah.
I wish Leah the best. I hope she keeps not kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, that's a pretty damn good stance, I would say, from us.
Yeah.
Not to pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah.
as being allies, but I'm fascinated by. I just am fascinated by it. That's all.
Dude, I love when trans babes are catching W's, dude. I'm
Hell
all for
yeah,
it. I'm all
trans
for it.
babes catching W's. Well said.
I'm here for it.
Classic Julio phraseology there. Okay. Well, that's it.
Oops, the podcast. I hope you guys catch me fucking singing Spanish karaoke one of these days. It's a hell of a show. It's a hell of a show.
How do you know the words?
Very well. Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Have no idea what they mean.
Yeah.
But I've listened enough that I have like a solid catalog of like full fluency in some of these songs.
Good for you, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's impressive. We are Oops the Podcast. Send your thoughts, your emails, oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. Closing down on Christmas. Any good Christmas gifts or holiday gifts that you have? Would love to hear recommendations because I'm struggling myself. And we love you guys. See you soon.